Kenya, le ho già detto durante il nostro incontro, vorrei ripeterlo pubblicamente, come un pilastro di stabilità in questa importante regione del continente africano. Abbiamo apprezzato molto l'azione decisiva che lei, il suo governo e il Kenya hanno svolto.
Part of our contribution managing our environment.
Italy considers Kenya to be a virtuous example of democracy, and it is a model for social and economic development. Our countries have excellent and consolidated relations, which are proof of the friendship between our two peoples. Mr. President, we consider Kenya to be a very important partner for Italy. On the bilateral level, but also due to its role in this very important region in Africa, on the continent, and within the international community. We underlined and developed how important these very excellent relations are through the signings of the agreements that you graciously mentioned a few minutes ago, and which are proof of how much our collaboration is advancing. Other agreements will follow, of course, after the agreements we signed this morning, also because our business communities have plenty of links and plenty of very intense collaboration. Several Italian companies operate here in Kenya, including on a number of very important projects in several sectors. And this goes to show that we collaborate in a number of crucial sectors, and that is something we intend to foster in a very intense way. And as President Ruto was graciously mentioning, this also includes the building of dams, which are such an important project, and the Italian government wishes to contribute very intensely to their swift finalization and overcoming the difficulties that we faced.
The President of the Italian Republic, who has honored us by making this long-awaited visit to Kenya. It has been a tremendous privilege, Your Excellency, to receive universal health coverage and improved pharmaceutical production. We have also signed an MOU on bilateral consultations.
Italy feels that Kenya is a pillar of stability in this important region in Africa. We very much appreciated the crucial role played by you, Mr. President, your government, the role that Kenya as a whole has played in Ethiopia so that we could solve the dramatic confrontation between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray region. And the Pretoria Agreement is also the outcome of your essential contribution, of Kenya's essential contribution, so that Ethiopia, your neighboring country, could reach peace and stability. And we stand with Kenya in fostering peace, development, and cooperation so that the entire region can go towards development and peace, which of course clashes are a huge obstacle too. There is a great deal of concern regarding the tensions in the Great Lakes region and in the Horn of Africa, and we fully support the initiatives being developed by Kenya, such as the Nairobi process, the goal of which is to develop a culture of peace and social and economic development. Also, because of that, we are convinced of the fact that we have to intensify the collaboration between the European Union and Kenya so that we can contribute to Kenya's precious work in terms of fostering peace, development, and social and economic growth.
Sanitation projects which are critical to our agenda on food security, delivery of water, and climate action. I am provided tremendous support of water, health, education, and urban development programs.
non essere un tema tra i temi principali al centro di questi colloqui, ma resta pur sempre un tema di stretta attualità e sempre più spesso tragica attualità per il nostro paese, paese di frontiera mediterranea, di frontiera dell'Europa, anche alla luce delle ultime notizie, delle ultime ipotesi di centinaia di migliaia di possibili partenze dal Nord Africa alla volta dell'Italia. Lei ha sempre indicato come via quella di aprire dei canali formali e di collaborazione con i paesi di origine dei flussi. Ebbene, il rapporto privilegiato tra Italia e Kenya, tra Roma e Nairobi, può essere un modello di riferimento come cooperazione allo sviluppo in settori importanti, come abbiamo sentito,
in the development of important sectors. You mentioned technology, research, the environment, you mentioned science. Do you think the relations between Italy and Kenya can be an example even when it comes to migration? It certainly can be an example, because the cooperation between Italy and Kenya has reached excellent levels, and they truly can be a benchmark for everyone, which can be replicated everywhere. We have excellent relations with all countries, of course, and we would like to continue having excellent relations with everyone. Also because we can only deal with common problems if we cooperate well. This, of course, applies to all of the issues you mentioned, beginning with migration. We want to have good cooperation with the countries of origin and the countries of transit when it comes to migration, but we know that the dimension of migration, its entity, which is growing everywhere in the world, cannot be dealt with only bilaterally. Migration can only be dealt with together in a well-organized European action that can deal with this major issue in an effective way. This, of course, affects the Mediterranean route, but it also affects the Balkan route. These are two elements which intersect. And through good bilateral cooperation, of course, we can become more aware and we can have a more organic approach within the framework of the European Union on all topics, including migration.
Business. With this visit, we are confident that even more investors will take up the myriad of opportunities in the project.
L'Italia considera il Kenya un esempio virtuoso di democrazia e di modello di crescita sociale ed economica.
Kenya and Italy, as we mentioned this morning, once again, Mr. President, share a vision regarding international relations, a vision based on multilateralism, on the search for dialogue and peace. We share the refusal to war and aggression. That's why Italy has supported firmly the presence of Kenya within the United Nations Security Council, which was extremely successful. I wish to mention Kenya's appeal to the international community to pay closer attention to the needs of the global South. Italy shares and supports this appeal, this crucial plea, so that the world can head towards a more equitable distribution of resources and well-being, and so that we can have more cooperation and cooperation based on solidarity. And I'd like to go back to what President Ruto said so wisely regarding the climate and the climate emergency we face. Hopefully, Nairobi can have some rain today. But of course, the drought that you have been witnessing in the region in recent years is something alarming, and it is a symptom of the serious consequences brought about by climate change. This is something we feel everywhere, including in Europe and in Italy. We truly need rain. We're seeing a decrease in the snow on our mountains and in our glaciers, which are a consequence of climate change. That's why Kenya and Italy share the same awareness, and we wish to urge the international community to proceed swiftly in taking all the decisions needed to curb the atmosphere's pollution, and so that we can deal with climate change in an effective way. By doing so, we will lay the foundations for future well-being and future development that our young people and the future generations can reap the benefits of. And due to a far-sighted choice made by President Kenyatta, Kenya's first president, Nairobi hosts the United Nations Environment Program headquarters, which underscores how important it is to act in a tangible way, and increasingly so, to curb climate change. And hopefully the upcoming COP28 summit in Dubai will lead to a growing and tangible commitment so that we can commit together to counter climate change. All of these topics need a common commitment on the international community side. And on these topics, including health, climate, migration, development, and a greater balance in international well-being, in all these topics, Kenya and Italy share a common vision, and we intend to develop our collaboration very much in the future. Thank you once again, Mr. President, for your welcome. Thank you for the friendship which unites us.